Welcome to My Precious Data, the podcast by Eddy Willems, where we explore the world of cybercrime and incidents affecting our society. In this series, we engage in conversations with Eddy Willems, security evangelist, globally recognized cybersecurity expert, and international keynote speaker. Eddy also dives into conversations with fellow experts to share insights and explore new perspectives. Together, we highlight the latest security trends and discuss preventive measures to help avoid these kinds of problems.
Good morning, good evening, good night, or whenever you are listening, welcome back to My Precious Data. Today's guest is someone I'm very happy to welcome. Not only a respected cybersecurity leader, but also a good friend I've known for many years. She plays a crucial role in bringing competitors together for a common goal, sharing intelligence to stop cyber threats. Please welcome Jeannette Jarvis from the Cyber Threat Alliance. Hello, Jeannette.
Hi, Eddy. Thank you for having me. Great to see you.
No problem at all. I was looking forward because you're the first woman in my podcast.
Well, it's about time.
Yeah, I know. Anyway, Jeannette, first of all, where are we over here? Well, yeah.
We are in Innsbruck, Austria, of all places. It's a lovely city. We're here for the AV Comparatives and the Caro Conference.
Exactly. Yeah, we try to record always, at some special places like conferences or whatever, isn't it? So you and I go back quite a while. Do you remember how and when we first met?
You know, Eddy, I've known you forever, for a very long time. We met either at a Virus Bulletin conference or ICAR conference very long ago.
I think it was a Virus Bulletin
Was it
conference.
Virus Bulletin?
Yeah, I think it was somewhere, I don't know, not sure, maybe in the US, but a very long time ago.
Yeah.
In the 90s.
Yeah, my first one was 1997. You've been around a little longer than me.
So it must be 97, 98, something like that. Yeah. You see, well, time goes fast.
Well, and we used to, and we still do for that matter, tour around whatever city we're in, whatever country we're in, we go tour around.
True. So for the listeners who may not be familiar with your background, how did your journey into cybersecurity begin? You worked for several other security companies, I know, and you worked for something completely different as well. So tell us about it.
Yeah, for sure. Well, my cybersecurity career started when I was working at Boeing. Initially, I was in tech support at Boeing. One day I read a book, The Cuckoo's Egg by Clifford Stoll, and it was really compelling, true story of one guy trying to find attackers who broke into the system and stole some money. And I was really intrigued by the story. And then one day, while working in tech support, I read the Boeing News. They had an internal newsletter back in the day. Of course, everything's online now. And I was looking at the job listings, and there was this job for AV, antivirus, and firewall and encryption strategist. And I read the job, and I thought, that's my job.
Mm-hmm.
For some reason, I knew I was going to get the job.
Yeah.
So I applied. I was the only person that had applied for the job. It had been open for 2 months.
Okay.
Can you believe that? That's back in the 90s.
Yeah. Back in the 90s, yeah.
And I got the job, and I started working strategy for Boeing. So it was great. I got in really somewhat near the beginning of viruses happening, and I got to grow and learn with the industry, and meeting people like you and others at these events taught me, and I listened and I learned, and it's been great.
But you also worked for a couple of other companies as well, cybersecurity companies, isn't
Yeah, I left Boeing and I went to Microsoft. We were the customer-facing cybersecurity organization, and that was great. I left there to go specifically to work at vendors, security vendors. So I worked while at McAfee. We created the Cyber Threat Alliance. So I was involved with that from day one.
Yeah.
Left there, went to Fortinet, who was also a founding member of the CTA. And then I came over to the Cyber Threat Alliance.
Yeah. Okay, but we come back to that one later on, actually. Because there is another question I wanted to ask you, because some people know you also as what we call the fourth amigo. Can you explain the public who the four amigos are, and tell the listeners a little bit more about it?
Well,
It's a
as
little bit a strange question, I know, because go ahead,
well, you're one of the amigos. Yeah, I mean, I'm the amiguette. I'm the only girl amigo, right? There's Richard from the Netherlands, Isat, and Louise from Spain, from Jen, and good old Eddy from Belgium, and
That's me.
Yeah. I remember we were at the Denver conference, and we were touring around the city, and I stopped to take a picture of you guys once, and I said, "Hey, my three amigos," and
Yeah,
it just kind of stuck. And
that's
you
how it
guys,
started.
yeah, you guys are my three amigos.
Yeah, and since then we are called the more or less the four amigos of the security industry, I think.
Yeah.
It's a very strange thing, but everybody seems to know us like that. But coming back to the first thing, so about the Cyber Threat Alliance. So for people hearing about it for the first time, what exactly is the Cyber Threat Alliance, and why was it created?
Well, CTA at its core is a threat intelligence not-for-profit collaborative. For all practical purposes, it's a cybersecurity industry ISAC. So our members share threat intelligence.
Exactly. Yeah.
We were founded when some fierce competitors decided to work together to better protect their customers and the digital ecosystem by sharing threat intelligence. The founders were Palo Alto Networks, Fortinet, McAfee, and Symantec.
Mm-hmm.
They understood that no one has all of the intelligence. Everybody brings something unique to the table. And the CEOs acknowledge that they compete on the technology, not on the intelligence. And we need to be working better together and sharing information if we want to better protect the ecosystem.
Indeed, yeah. Now, a lot of people which are maybe listening to this podcast don't know exactly why that sharing of that threat intelligence is so critical today. So can you a little bit elaborate on that one?
Why is it important?
Yeah, why is it important? Yes.
Well, look, nobody has all the data, right? Despite what they market, we are all better and stronger when we work together. I mean, there's just no doubt about it.
No, I totally agree, actually.
I mean, adversaries share tactics, they share techniques, they work together, they share infrastructure even.
Yeah.
Why are the good guys not working better together?
Yeah, I know. And that's a little bit very typical in our industry, of course, because not a lot of industries are actually doing something like that.
Yeah.
So what kind of organizations typically participated in CTA? What do they gain from it?
Well, we currently have 38 members. They're headquartered in 13 countries around the world. Mm-hmm. We're very global. And we have many more in our pipeline that we're working with to join. But anybody that has cybersecurity threat intelligence that they can share, generally it's cybersecurity vendors, but there are many organizations that have strong cybersecurity groups within their own right. We're very excited. We're about to announce some cool new people or cool new members during RSA, and but it can be anybody from endpoint security to network telecoms. We have MSSP members. It really crosses a broad spectrum.
It's a mixture.
It's a mixture, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So, cybersecurity vendors are competitors by nature, of course. So how difficult is it to convince them to collaborate openly, Is that...
We get asked a lot, right?
It's not easy, isn't it?
No. But again, we were... founded by competitors who
so they already saw that it was important for them, I suppose.
And many of our members are competitors with each other, not just those four founders. It isn't difficult for our members to collaborate. They have to come with an open mind. I would encourage vendors who are not members to join. You're going to get intelligence that you don't already have.
Yeah, exactly.
Your customers want you to be collaborating. When I was working at Boeing and responsible for protecting key platforms at Boeing, I was frustrated when my vendors weren't sharing intelligence. It was affecting me, protecting my company.
Exactly. Yeah, I totally agree. So what are the biggest barriers to effective intelligence sharing? Is that technical, legal, or cultural?
It's all of those.
All of those.
Yeah. So cultural, there are still vendors who feel that they're sharing their intelligence undercuts their business model.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just simply not true. You should be competing on your technology, right? Not the intelligence. And technical challenges are technical and operational resources.
Mm-hmm.
In CTA's model, you need to connect to our platform and set up. That takes a little bit of time. And also I find that organizations, they just have their own priorities and roadmaps that they need to factor in addition to working with us.
Yeah.
So that takes time, right?
Exactly.
Generally, once you're set up on our platform, it's, the resources are minimal by all means, but it just takes time to get engaged.
Okay.
I would say also there's an economic factor.
Oh, yeah.
So, and I break that into really two pieces. One is, we're a nonprofit. We're a 501c6 membership association. So our entire revenue stream is based on membership fees. We try to keep our fees really minimal.
Mm-hmm.
We have to run a business, but we also want to make sure that we're not pricing out small and,
I know what you mean.
Other, or, nonprofit or not nonprofits, but startups.
Exactly.
And then sometimes companies don't have this in their budget. So they want to work with us, but they didn't budget for it. And so we have to wait a year or what have you.
Of course.
But you also mentioned legal, and I want to mention that their members are always not going to be able to share everything.
No.
Right? And sometimes that's for legal concerns. They have contractual agreements with their customers or others, or maybe they're also involved in investigations and they can't share. We understand that. At CTA, you just need to share a certain amount of data to meet a weekly point average.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. So have you ever seen a shift in mindset over the years toward more openness and cooperation?
Yeah, I think public-private partnerships are encouraged now, and many security strategies promote this. Folks are realizing that we all really need to work together to put the pieces of the puzzle together in order to better protect the ecosystem. We need to know what the adversaries are doing. We need to connect the dots. We need to share so we can be proactive in putting security controls in place to protect our customers. So, yeah.
Okay. So let's go to the evolving threat landscape. So from your perspective at CTA, how has the threat landscape changed in the recent years?
Yeah, that's it's changed a lot, right? I would say the barrier to entry has gotten lower. There's a lot of tools available online now.
True.
And it makes the work of the bad guys a lot easier than it used to. They can make a lot of money. The profit remains high, so that's a motivation for them. I would say that organizations or company, I would say that countries like North Korea, where they have forced labor camps, is a big problem for us, right? There's scams and fraud that are hard to fight against, and it's hard to stay ahead.
True.
Nation states are bolder now. We see that with the Salt and Volt typhoon. I just don't see anything slowing down. Geopolitics, isn't helping at all.
No, indeed. Are there any types of threats that you feel which are still underestimated by organizations, you think?
Well, I think I would focus on two things, Eddy. One is the supply chain, right? I just don't think many companies fully understand the interconnectivity of their software and then understand the impact when that service has been breached or attacked. With all this interconnectivity, you often don't even know the people involved in the back end and in those services and products. And, you're not vetting them. You don't often know if they're patching those services and products appropriately. So I think the supply chain is a big problem, is going to continue to be. And I know that people try to address it through SBOMs, security bill of materials, but that's very hard to keep up, right? Because files change all the time. I think people know the problem, but they just don't know how to deal with it, right? And some are. Yeah.
Okay.
And S-bones are really a catalog at one point in time anyway, right?
I know. It's also, people, companies should maybe use it much more than we do these days. That's
I would
right.
also say the other one would be legacy software and technical debt, right? We have a lot of software out there that is legacy. It's not being updated.
Oh, yeah, also.
And,
True. Yeah. Do you think faster sharing could have reduced the impact of some major incidents we've seen? Do you think something like?
Yeah, faster sharing could have reduced the impact of several major cyber incidents. But the nuance is what gets shared when and between whom determines whether sharing becomes the force multiplier for defense or just simply noise, right? I attest that many of the most damaging breaches in recent years were worsened not by a lack of technical capability, but by delays in communication, siloed information, and just that hesitation to disclose information early to help. When sharing works well, it creates that network effect.
Yeah.
Each participant becomes safer because everyone is contributing signals.
Exactly.
That's why CTA works.
Mm-hmm.
That's why sectors such that have strong ISACs like FS-ISAC, the financial industry, work. They're able to respond more effectively with emerging threats. But when sharing is slow or incomplete, attackers gain the advantage, right?
Yeah, true. Okay, let's go to the human side of the threat intelligence. So technology enables sharing, but trust enables collaboration. So how do you build and maintain trust among CTA members?
Yeah.
Maybe a
Eddy,
difficult one, I don't know.
well, it's a question we get asked now and again. Even when we first started CTA and I was in a meeting with press and they were asking, well, how are you going to trust each other? Well, honestly, you have to start with trust. Members hold each other accountable, first for sharing valuable and timely content, and second to adhere to the TLPs that's associated with that content.
Mm-hmm.
We have a program, it's called Early Share. So it's a program where our members share research, blogs, reports with each other, generally 24 to 72 hours before they publish it publicly.
Mm-hmm.
So it all comes with TLP. And that trust has never been broken in all these years. And CTA just celebrated its 9th anniversary since founding as a nonprofit.
Yeah, look at that. Okay. So do people sometimes underestimate the human and relational aspect of cyber defense? What do you think?
Likely, but they shouldn't.
I know.
It's critical, right? In fact, events like the one we're at this week are just opportunities to build trust, right? Meeting people face to face at industry events helps build that trust. It's really essential in the cybersecurity world.
Mm-hmm.
Organizations, however, right now are challenged and they're not allowing people to attend conferences or other events due to budget. I assume it's budget. And it's not allowing that relationship development that's really needed to build the trust this industry requires.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, very clear. Anyway, let's go further to our next point about, AI, automation and threat intelligence. Yeah, everybody is talking about it, of course. So AI is, of course, transforming cybersecurity on both sides. How is AI affecting threat intelligence sharing?
Well, honestly, we don't have the answer to that yet. We really haven't seen an impact in AI.
Maybe a little bit too early.
on specific threat intelligence sharing. There will be an increase in the volume as there's going to be more stuff detected, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Or decrease as more is filtered out. So we're able to focus on what really matters. We're likely to be able to share fewer but higher quality IOCs.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to radically change how we think about CTI, but I think it's too early to tell.
Yeah. So do you think AI will make collaboration easier then, or introduce new risks maybe?
So anything you can do with AI, our adversaries can do as well, right? AI accelerates both defenders and attackers. So it doesn't help. It doesn't just help with collaboration, it also helps adversaries collaborate, automate, and scale. Attackers can generate phishing campaigns tailored to specific culture or languages, malware development, can be partially automated. Disinformation campaigns can be coordinated with unprecedented speed. So this means that defenders must collaborate more effectively simply to keep pace, right? Deep fakes are a huge concern. We heard a couple talks this week about deep fakes and their impact. And it's going to have tremendous impact, not just on human reputation, but also companies' bottom line.
Yeah.
There will be new risks. We just don't know the full impact yet.
Exactly. Yeah. Okay, let's go to our next point. You've been a strong voice for leadership and diversity in cybersecurity, in my opinion. Why is diversity so important in tackling cyber threats?
Well, diversity isn't just a nice to have in cybersecurity. It's a core defensive capability. The more perspectives that you can bring into the room, the fewer blind spots your organization is going to have, and the harder it is for attackers to succeed.
Yeah. Okay. So, have you ever seen progress in inclusivity within the cybersecurity community?
Yeah, I think that we built up a lot of progress over the years. However, I feel like we're stepping back right now, especially in the US. We're seeing a lot of layoffs. I read an article the other day that indicated that most of the layoffs recently have affected women more than men.
Yeah.
And then there's this big, ridiculous move to remove DEI focus.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
None of that makes sense
No.
by any means.
Yeah, true. So, what advice would you give to women and underrepresented groups, entering cybersecurity today? Do you have any tips or advice?
Well, entering cybersecurity today, whether you're a woman or any other underrepresented group, means stepping into a field that needs your perspective, your voice, and your leadership. The most important thing is that you don't have to fit the industry as it is. You get to shape it as what it becomes, right? You're bringing your own value, your own thoughts. I would suggest building a network early. Join communities like Women in Cybersecurity, Black Girls Hack, Executive Women's Forum, Women in Security. There's a ton of organizations you can join, or local meetups like B-Sides, conferences like Black Hat, Rise, RSA, of course, CARO, where we're at this week. These networks open doors, they provide support, and they really normalize your experience. They're great for building your network, but also for building that trust I mentioned earlier. Trust is inherent in our field. And the more you can see someone and talk to them face to face, the stronger that trust is going to be.
Yeah.
And nowadays, too, it seems that the best way to get a job is through people you know.
Yeah.
And these are all opportunities to get to know people, and they know what you can bring to the table.
Exactly.
I'd also suggest finding mentors and sponsors. Mentors will help you grow. Sponsors are going to be your advocate when you're not in the room, and you really need and deserve both.
Yeah, makes sense. So, without naming names, what's one moment in your work at CTA that really showed the power of collaboration? Maybe it's also a difficult one,
I would say there's a couple things. One, when an incident happens, there's a lot of confusion up front. There's a lot of flux. What CTA is able to do is bring all of our members together and on a call and start discussing what is happening, what are you seeing, and really kind of contain the focus to what's actually happening and remove that speculation that is inherent in when an incident first starts. And then you can grasp on where you should be focusing your time and attention. Another thing is, there's a lot of value that organizations bring to the table. CTA has a program called Joint Analytic Reports, where everyone brings their unique data, their unique experience, and guidance to the table to address a specific issue. We've done joint analytic reports on quantum computing, on effects of Gen AI on cybersecurity, edge computing, cyber threats to the Olympics, cyber threats to non-governmental organizations and how we can better help them, especially with the funding being cut, and more. So, there's a lot of collaboration that CTA does that better impacts the industry overall.
Hmm. Was there ever a situation where cooperation directly prevented or significantly reduced a cyber incident?
Well, I mentioned earlier our early share program, and I think
Oh,
that's
yeah.
significant because
Hmm.
when our members are able to be aware of something significant that another member has discovered, and even maybe implement the signals, the protection measures ahead of time before it's made public, that's hugely valuable.
Hmm.
And plus, how many times does a vendor post a new blog about something really interesting, significant, and the CEO might come to you and say, "Hey, what is it? What do you know about this?"
Yeah.
And you can say, "Well, I already got it covered. We got that through CTA, and we're all set. We're all good."
Yeah, exactly.
It's priceless, right?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Okay. Some personal reflection, another topic. So, after all these years, what still surprises you about the cybersecurity world? Is there something which.
I would say two things.
Okay.
One, we're still not winning.
Yeah,
It seems to
unfortunately.
be sometimes really getting worse, and it just is challenging. Social engineering, we can't seem to get ahead of the social engineering
Yeah, that's the
attacks.
human thing, isn't it? There's a
It's a
problem.
human factor, and look at the volume of spam, of phishing that you get, and it's only going to get worse with AI.
True.
So that's really going to be a challenge.
Yeah.
But also, I think what surprises me still is that organizations aren't more open to sharing intelligence and working together. The customers want it. And
Mm.
oftentimes it's really what's needed to get ahead of the bad guys. They're still winning. We need to do a better job of working together and trying to get on top of them. Also, I would say another thing, Eddy. With the advent of venture capitalists
Oh.
engagement in the cybersecurity industry, where they're acquiring cybersecurity vendors, I sometimes think that they're more concerned about making money and not walking the talk of doing everything they can to better protect us in the digital ecosystem. And I think the focus is switching more to,
Hmm. Yeah, to
making
the
money.
making money.
Yeah.
That's really a good point, actually, that you
It's
brought up.
frustrating.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is
Now,
frustrating.
I want to say that's not all venture
It's
capitalists are
not
that way,
always, no.
but
Yeah,
there are
some
a
of
good
them. Yeah.
portion. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. So, what do you believe now about cyber defense that you didn't believe earlier in your career?
I would say that it's hard. It's hard work. It's harder than you think it is, right?
Yeah, it's getting harder and harder, isn't it? It
Yeah, it
seems. Yeah.
surprises me that vendors still don't work together better, right? We've got to address that, honestly. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Another one. I always love this one. If you were starting your career today, would you still choose cybersecurity?
Well, gosh, I'm sure that I would. I mean, to me, working and doing everything we can to get rid of the bad guys is compelling to me, and I like also the variety of work that the cybersecurity industry brings, right? I'm someone who needs to be engaged in a lot of different activities, right? I can
Yeah.
have a lot of balls in the air on different projects at one time, and I need that. So it addresses kind of my needs. I need diversity. But protecting the digital ecosystem is a novel mission, and I'm proud to be part of that.
Yeah. 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 Me too. Okay, something completely different.
Okay.
So, Jeanette, we have something what we call the $1 million question
Okay.
in our podcast, a little bit the signature question on this one. Because most of the time I've sent the topics a little bit around to the person I going to interview, but I never know what they're going to ask me sometimes, because there is always one question open to you to ask me. So what is your question to me? Could be anything.
Can I ask you two things?
Yes, of course.
Okay, the first thing I want to ask you is, what's the most memorable thing that you've been excited about in all these years? You've been in cybersecurity for 30 plus years, right? 35 years.
What's exciting about? In a good way or in a bad way?
Both.
Both. Okay. Well, I think the positive thing, or where I'm really excited about, is at least that companies are driving to protect people. This is unbelievable, because it's more than protect people. It's protecting the whole world, more or less. And normally we're always thinking at police forces, but it's not completely the case. We are doing that. The companies are doing that. So that's part of what I really like in this industry. It's and of course on the other side, of course, is that there are so many cyber criminals, and the amount of cyber criminals is staggering, in my opinion. And it seems that everybody is switching to online cybercrime. And on top of that, I even don't like that spies are working in the cyber business, actually, these days, because that's something we didn't know that we wanted to protect, everybody for. So, so we changed from something like a strange kind of, let us say, security industry, which were protecting people and at least our PCs and networks against, cyber script kiddies or whatever. And now we are protecting the world against spies and nation states. Unbelievable. So that's what, those are the things which were surprising for me to everything. Well, I hope that answers your questions.
Thank you. That's good. Okay. And question number 2 for you is, you and I have met up in industry events around the world in many, many countries.
Mhm.
Where shall the amigos, what's your wish for a country that the amigos can meet up in and that we haven't been to?
Oh, that's a good one. Maybe Hawaii or something like that. I know it's one of your favorite places, I think, but
go once a year.
why not Hawaii? Because it's something very far away, and I hope, that's and it's a sunny kind of state, and I like these kind of things. Yeah, why not?
It would certainly do good for the soul.
Exactly. Yeah. And otherwise, there are so many nice touristical places, so I love to go to where it is good and where you can see a lot. That's also maybe interesting. Some cultural stuff could be behind it. You never know. Italy could be also a very nice place. I think it's always a very nice touristical place to go to. Yeah. The whole country, actually, it's very difficult to say Rome or whatever, Sicily or whatever. It's everywhere interesting, I think.
Very cool.
Well, nice questions. So do you think we will see each other soon, Jeannette, somewhere?
Well, we'll at least see each other in Spain.
That's true. We always see each other during a virus bulletin, isn't it? I think this will continue forever, I suppose. And that's definitely one of the next ones. We will see each other
later this year.
Yeah. Okay. So before leaving, because this is something new we are putting up, something like, how should I call it? The rapid fire round. Yeah, and it's something new. Because people were asking me, Eddy, maybe this could be interesting because it's, it gives me, more details about the person you are interviewing. So it gives me more another view on him or her. So let's have a look. So you just say, what comes up to you,
Okay.
So, oh my God, this is very, it's not good readable at my paper over here. But anyway, coffee or tea?
Oh, by far, I'm a tea person. Yes. And from a coffee drinking Seattle area, I'm a massive tea advocate.
Okay. Early morning meetings or late night calls?
Oh gosh, I am an early morning person, have always been. I love the mornings, not late night calls for me. No, thank you.
One word that best describes the cybersecurity community today. Difficult.
Well, I would say I have probably 2 words. One, passionate, right? You have to be passionate to work in this industry. Things are always changing. It's it's hard work. It's a lot of hours. You got to really care. So passionate and resilient, probably too.
Yeah, totally agree. The most underrated skill in cybersecurity?
The most underrated skill? Curiosity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, makes sense. Okay. Collaboration or competition? That's an easy one, I think.
Oh, is there any doubt? Collaboration, of course, of course.
Yeah, of course. So the biggest myth about threat intelligence sharing?
That you lose your competitive advantage. That's so wrong. You don't lose your competitive advantage.
Yeah. AI, opportunity or headache?
Definitely opportunity that will bring headaches. How about that?
Yeah. One thing every organization should be doing tomorrow to improve, well, yeah, her security. Oh my God, there is a security alert coming up over here.
Well, I would say the basics, right? Continue to harden your environment. If an adversary gets in, ensure they can't traverse laterally, ensure they can't exfiltrate your data. Just make sure your defenses are hardened and segregated, and separate your passwords and accounts from other data. There's a lot we can do to basics, right?
Yeah, true. So if you weren't in cybersecurity, what would you be doing today instead of being in cybersecurity? It's a good one, isn't it?
Well, I always wanted to be a writer. I love to write. And I think I write better than I speak. I like to write, but also maybe a detective, because I like to kind of find the puzzles and put the pieces together. And that's a lot of what we do in cybersecurity.
Okay. So Detective Jeannette, what keeps you motivated to keep doing this work?
Well, I love the work I do. I work for a great company and I love our mission, and I want the good guys to win. I have grandchildren now. And I want the internet to be safe for them. I worry about the social media impact on future generations. And, if there's anything I can do to help, I want to do so.
Okay. Yeah. Wow, you survived.
Hey, thanks. That's it, huh?
Yeah. Okay, Jeannette, really, thank you so much for the conversation and for the work you do every day to bring people together to make the digital world safer. So, I wish you a cyber safe continuation of your day, and I really look forward to seeing you again very soon.
I look forward to seeing you again soon.
Yeah.
Thanks, Eddy, for having me.
Okay, to all our listeners, thank you for tuning in to My Precious Data. Until next time, stay safe, stay connected, and keep your data precious.
If you have any comments, questions, or suggestions, feel free to email us at podcast@wavci.com. For more information about lectures or keynotes, please visit wavci.com. See you next time.